And I can definitely see how there has been some, I guess, confusion of terminology or misusing terminology, especially once the iPhone was launched. Um, and I mean, everyone wants to be a startup because they're thinking about funding, they're thinking about investors, and not necessarily what is a viable and sustainable business model
Product.
for their
Mm,
product or service.
agree. And the funny thing about that is like, you know, it's so many people out here trying to play the startup game right now. It's so many people playing the startup game. And I get it. I love it. I'm all for it. But man, I don't think people, I think there are a lot of times where people um, really underestimate the research that needs to be done to find a viable business model or a viable product for a market. I really genuinely do, because when you start talking about startup, I don't think of a startup without thinking about like something like a concept like market validation. I mean, every business needs market validation, but for a startup, you really looking for market validation, right? Like, because the reality is that the last thing you want to do is go spend 10, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 on an application or on some software that's supposed to power this business, and nobody really want it, or there's not even a need in the marketplace for it, which people do all the time, which is really crazy.